Hey everyone. Okay, so I've been gone for, I don't know, it's been quite a few months since I've had a chance to do a live. And I am super excited to start them back up for starters, right? Like I'm just excited to get back into the swing of everything. I've missed doing them. I've missed having conversations with all my friends and sharing all the things that I know from the friends that I have on here. So I was really excited to, when I started revamping what I wanted the Ambitious Groomer to be, I was really excited to it really forced me into getting back into doing the lives and making
Mhm.
the podcast and working on whatever that month's theme is. So, in case someone's listening to this and they haven't, or they're watching this and they haven't really seen, I'm starting to turn the Ambitious Groomer into more of a membership, a hive mind membership platform. Currently, next month is still free. I haven't figured out any other details from what I want to do, but each month is going to be a new topic. And I decided this all came from I decided that I was sick of necessarily, not sick of, I love being an authority and an educator, but I also love learning. And I wanted to create a community that I could also still learn off of how other people do things. And I know we have not a lot of avenues on the business side. So that's sort of where the new hive mind came from. And I'm excited. I have a lot of plans for where I want it to go. But November, I'm going to try and do the lives beforehand, but Staci was just busy in show season over here because she ended
Yep.
up doing boarding and daycare.
Yes.
so, so I was trying to get it done beforehand, but it doesn't matter because we're doing it now, and I'm really excited. If you're just meeting Staci for the first time, this is Staci. She is the owner of Cosmos Bathing System. Would you like to
Hi.
introduce yourself and tell us,
Yes.
your a little bit of your history?
Okay. So I'm Stacy, like she said, from Cosmos Bathing Systems. I've started in the grooming industry in 1995. I started working for a shampoo company and learned tons and tons and tons about it. And then in 2009, I launched my company, the Cosmos Bathing System, and have been in the industry since then, promoting the system, servicing the system. And then this year, actually at Groomer Expo in Hershey, we introduced our brand new Cosmos system called the Cosmic Suds, and it is a frothing system.
Yeah, I
So,
love it, and I
yeah,
can't wait to get into more of that. That's
yes,
such a good option for any of the people who are listening or watching this. If you are high volume, this is what I like to call it. I like to call it high volume frothing.
yes.
And she can trademark that. She's allowed to steal that. And I like to call it high volume frothing because that's one of the things that I hear a lot of, that it's really hard for facilities either to incorporate frothing because they're larger, or there isn't that option. It's time consuming. So we'll
Yes.
definitely get into all of that. But I'm really excited. The reason why I asked for Staci on here, not only if you've been to the shows, you know that her and I'm her ambassador and that we're friends. But the November's theme was all about workflow. And I couldn't have the scale that I have without my Cosmos system. And I'm very upfront about that in any of my seminars and all those things. So I most certainly wanted to bring her on because she can also go into, like, listen, I can do this side that is talking about how I use it in my business and how it helps me with my flow. But Staci can really educate on what the system entails, the other things that she's heard from other people being at the shows, which is really cool, about how they use it for their flow. And also to obviously help her out, get the name out with the Cosmic Suds, because I think any salon who's been interested in frothing and maybe has held back because they're higher volume, or it is not feasible to have a shampoo system and it's time consuming, I really think that this is a huge step in the industry.
Hmm.
So super excited to talk about that. Um, we'll do our spiel. So obviously I'm in at the booth. So I'm going to do my side of the spiel, and then I'm sure
Okay.
Staci will chime in here too. So my side is I was very skeptical. Staci will tell anyone who comes
Very,
up.
very. Denise
I
scared
had
me
you.
the first time.
Did I really scare you?
Oh, I just was like, oh my gosh, I think she's gonna kill me if this thing doesn't work for her. Like it was, you were just like, just so like, I am just not sure about this thing.
Right. Well, and in fairness, it was most certainly also coming off of another system that's like, so it's a pre-diluted shampoo system, and we'll go into how it works and stuff. But there are other systems out there like that, and coming off of a groomer who had came in using a different system, I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical about like
Mhm.
just the pressure, right? The pressure of it working. So yes, it was a little different for me.
Yeah, because like, honestly, when you compare it to some of the other systems, whether they're Venturi systems that dilute it for you, whether they are just shampoo applicators like mine does not have nearly the pressure that some of the other ones have. I readily admit that. I tell people that all the time. But you honestly do not need that much pressure. A lot of times when you have so much pressure, you're actually wasting product because it can absorb into the fur that quickly, and it'll just run off, drip off, bounce off depending on the coat. And so the whole premise behind mine is getting it down into the coat at a consistent basis where you need it to get a good cleaning.
Yes. So that was my skepticism. I purchased my second location and they had already
Mhm.
been using it. I was not happy with the last system. I can't remember if I was still had it in the salon or not. Um, but what I wasn't happy with is if it would break down and the cleanliness aspect of it. So
Mhm.
when I got into my second location and I saw that it was at least the stainless steel and all the things, and I knew they had it for how long? I'm still friends with them, but how long did they have it for?
I don't know. I just looked up that you've had it now for going on 10 years. I did
Hmm.
not research into when they actually got it the first time.
They had it. Yeah, they had it like
Yeah.
forever before me. And
Yes.
I'm like, okay, cool. So we kept it because I'm like, well, this is silly. Might as well try it. And I liked it. And then we expanded into my first location that we had. And I just, I can't say enough about it as far as the training that I can do with it, the consistency for having each location, no matter what client or who the client goes to, which location, it is always the same experience. And I can't say enough things about it. And the other really cool part about this is if you're watching and you're a newer business owner or you're looking to expand or do all that, you don't have a lot of funds,
Right.
that it's a rental system that is very affordable that can easily work into, honestly, the rental, um depending on, I hate to say when it depends on where you live, but is going to be less than the price of a small dog. I mean,
Yes, and honestly, I had at the pet boarding and daycare, I had someone ask me. He's like, "Well, what's my ROI?" And of course, I had to click into business mode because I'm in show mode, and I had to
right.
click back into business mode really quick. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I want to. I try and be generous. I'm like, you'll see a return on your investment in the first week, and quite honestly, really, you'll see it in that first day." To be honest
Hmm.
with you, because the price of the rent, yeah, it starts at $50 a month. You're going to save on your time, your product, your water, your rinsing, the whole gamut on the first day.
Yeah. And I know Staci runs numbers, like when she gives everyone what the dilution should be, she's really basing it off of straight numbers. It's not
Yes.
based, it is all math. It is not
Mhm.
based off of your water, exactly what your shampoo does in that water. So there is always a learning curve, and I always tell everyone to tweak it. But when I started playing around with it, I actually dilute almost double. Staci figured that out when she
Mhm.
came to service, and she's like,
Yep. Yep.
She saw, we have a 64-ounce clear plastic bottle that has a line around it, and that's where we fill with shampoo, and then you fill with water. And when she like did the math, she was like, Denise, you're doing like 98 to 1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had,
it's 98 point something, 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 but I was like, what? Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
50 to 1 shampoo. I have to say it's a 50 to 1. I use Best Shots. I've used it for 12 years, the Ultra Max. So our facility is set up to have one general purpose shampoo, and then we have a handful of specialty shampoos, whether it's flea and tick. We have Botanica charcoal that helps with the odor eliminating on like the strong smells and stuff like that. And we have the Best Shot clarifying as well. So like we have a few different ones in there. But we're the general purpose. And
Right.
when you learn, it is a little bit of a learning curve. I'm not going to lie, because you're just used to using your bottles, your diluted bottles and stuff. So there's a bit of a learning curve, but Staci came out and asked me to do a video of bathing a dog. And she's my little, I call her, she's a toodle. She's like a 15-pound doodle. This was before there were micro mini doodles and mini doodles and all these things. She was just a teeny tiny little doodle. And I said, oh, don't worry. You can just record me doing one side. So it's not that long. And then all of a sudden, like we get done and she's like, that was 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Yeah. It's like, we need to keep going.
Oh, okay. And I didn't even notice that, like, to me, it's like, oh, I'm just doing the thing. And it really does the prediction of the flow of my day in bathing. So once again, if you're tuning in, 6 to 7 groomers in one location, 4 to 5 groomers in the other, 2 bathers in one and 3 in the other, that it's so important to have a good flow for the day. So it's not constant chaos. And really the shampoo system, I think, was probably the first time I got into it and actually started paying attention to, I'm actually tracking my consumables.
Yes.
I really know.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell people, you're not only going to save time on your bathing, on the actual physical bathing, but you're diluting once for the whole day. So you're not stopping in the middle of a groom to try and bathe, or try and dilute enough product to finish bathing that dog, or heaven forbid, using full strength product just to try and get through that dog. You've got it there, you're ready to go. So it saves you time there. It saves you time on your rinsing because you've got it evenly on the dog. It's the same dilution over the whole pet. And then, and so it just saves all around. And like you had alluded to, they are food grade stainless steel tanks. So mixing in a stainless steel tank is way more sanitary. I don't have numbers on that, but I know I did look up, and it does double the amount of time before bacteria grows. Bacteria will still start to grow after 24 hours, but being in a stainless steel container slows it to 24 hours instead of, I don't know what the plastic bottles are, but also,
it's quick. It's quick.
Yes, it's quick. And diluting down in the same plastic bottle over and over is not, it's not the greatest. We can't get away from them because, like you were saying, there's still specialty baths that you need to dilute down in, and they work wonderful for that. But when you're a high volume salon doing 10, 20, 30, 60 dogs a day, you don't have time for that, and you don't have the manpower to dilute that much. So even with the new frother, and I used it at the pet boarding and daycare. I'm like, it is a high volume frother. So I used your tagline on that.
Trademark that. Make sure you trademark it.
No. I do need to. But again, you're diluting down what you need for the day, and then literally you're pulling the trigger and spraying it on the dog. Yeah.
Well, and we've had people come up to the booth when I'm there, and they talk about like how much consumption they're going through and not having that much control over it. And yes, I go through more and I know if I get a new bather, I'm going through more. I go through about a gallon more than I normally would. But at 98 to 1, I don't care if they
Yes.
overdo it. Like, go
Right.
for it. I don't care. If they want to
Hmm.
feel suds, go feel suds. You know, so it really helps tremendously. Everyone bathes the same. My numbers are where I need them to be, and I know where they're at. So I know that there, I also have found that sometimes people will revert back, where I happen to
Hmm.
notice that all of a sudden we're going through a lot more shampoo, and I'm like, what's
What's
going
going
on
on?
here?
Yeah.
You know what I found? If they're watching, they're gonna laugh. I found out that they were using two nozzles at once
Yeah.
on
Make
a
it go
double
faster.
coat. Yes, to make it go faster. And I'm like, but you're not getting done any faster,
And
and
you're
you're
using
using
more
twice
product.
the product. Just throwing that out there. But it took me, but I could tell what was going on, right? Like it was really easy. It's almost like I worked in vet med, like I was a vet groomer, and it was almost like people who free rein feed their dogs and the people who do twice a day. You know where to pinpoint where the problem was when it's on a structure like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's a reason we do budgets, right? There's a reason we set timers. There's reasons that we do all these things. And yeah, it makes it, it seems like it makes it more time consuming and more difficult, but quite honestly, it doesn't. It
It
streamlines
doesn't.
things.
It's
It
just a
helps
learning
you
curve.
flow. It is a learning curve. And I do tell people that as well. It does take the bathers a little while to figure out how to fill it, the best dilution they can get. Because when I give them a dilution chart, that is a suggested starting rate. That's going off the manufacturer's suggested dilution. But like you were saying, if you've got a water softener, you're going to get a way higher dilution, even in your dilution bottles,
Mhm.
right? If you have really hard water, you cannot, if you've got well water, you cannot dilute it as much. You have to, it has to be stronger. So there's always those variables that you just have to, some people like more suds, like you were saying, they want to feel those
Yep.
bubbles. And that's where the new frother comes in. Uh,
Yes.
so it's just a starting point and a recommendation where you start. But we all know how important dilution is, right? What does Aga say? Dilution is the solution.
Yep, dilution is the solution. Oh, if I had I don't have my Stanley here, or else I would show off her. Dilution is the
Yeah.
solution.
Yes.
No, it's true though, right? And that's really, it's playing around with it and seeing, even conditioners, so we
Yes.
don't, your system is set up to be able to add in as many shampoos as you would like,
As
as
many
many tubs.
conditioners, face wash.
Yeah, so it's very, and that's the other cool part, it's very customizable. I learned that we have two different conditioners and it's just a lot easier. We couldn't figure out what the ratios were to make it work in and not waste as much in a
Right.
smaller tank.
Right. The conditioner is more tricky than shampoo. Just,
Hmm.
yeah, it just really is. If you use one conditioner, it's not as difficult to know how much you're going to go through because you don't use as much conditioner as you do shampoo. It's just a different
Correct.
breed. Yeah. Hmm.
But you still, so we do still use mixing bottles, but there are people who use the conditioner as well. And it's just really customizable, which I love to
Yes.
pieces.
Well, and just like you learned too, I think it was your second salon. I don't remember. One of the salons, you had one bathtub, and so you had, one sprayer for your tank and everything. Well, then you got another tub, right? So you
Hmm.
again don't have to get a whole new system. You just add a sprayer to that tub, and so yeah, and then now you have three tubs at one, and so it's nice to be able to grow with the companies. It's fun to watch the groomers, start out with a 3-gallon tank, and then they're calling me and they're like, nope, I need a 5. We're picking up, we're busier. I hired another bather or I hired another groomer or whatever. And it's
Hmm.
fun to watch the growth and the excitement.
Yeah. And I know that there is that learning curve, but it really is
Mhm.
worth it. So
Mhm.
I contribute a lot of what I was able to attain that can, so obviously with branding, right? I need to stay consistent and I need it to be what someone can get at one location, they can get at the other. That's huge. Like,
Exactly. Hmm.
that's the biggest compliment I can get, is that they know exactly between customer service, the questions to the answers, the rapport, and even because we will have people, we're 20 minutes down the road, we will have people who will go
Right.
between the two, like especially right now if one location has a few openings or whatever. So it's really nice that they can go ahead and like I can guarantee that both
Mm-hmm.
locations, and the water is a little different at one of the other
Yeah.
locations. So I've had
Mm-hmm.
to tweak it a little bit because I will most certainly notice a difference in how long it will last, how sudsy it'll last throughout the day. Because
Yes.
you can just tell the water isn't, the water and the shampoo are just combining differently from one location
Mhm.
to the other.
Yeah. And you're just 20 minutes away from state to state. It's even more drastic.
Yep. So, yeah, it's really helped tremendously, and that's why I wanted to bring you on here because you know what you have, and you're at a lot of the trade shows, and a lot of the other ones aren't. And there's so many. Like, listen, and this is also what I love about Staci is if her system doesn't work, just look at a
Oh,
shampoo system. There's so
yes.
many different ones. You have recirculators. You know.
Yeah, the ventures. I tell people that all the time when they come up and I'll ask them a little bit about what their salon, what their bathing process is, the whole scenario. And sometimes I'll be like, yeah, mine's not the best for you. I recommend one of these types of systems, or, go talk to this one. And they're like, well, are they here? I'm like, unfortunately not. There's very few system companies that are at the shows, but they are out there, and usually I'll tell them how to get to them because mine isn't for everybody.
Hmm.
There are people who literally have a different shampoo for each dog that they do every day. That's not that's not the people, that's not my target group. I would love to help them, but it doesn't make sense. And so, I definitely want to recommend, but I highly recommend every system. I mean, you need to be able to maximize your product usage and your profits.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. And all those little cents and pennies add up. Like,
They do.
I mean, even the girls, like I said, just doing two nozzles, it was huge, like double
That's
the. I'm like,
crazy.
why? Why are we going through so much shampoo? But
Crazy.
I'm able to see that.
Right.
So, yep, I love, and I hear that a lot or I see it a lot on Facebook about like, oh, we're going through, this amount of shampoo. And, or, the other part, if you're watching this or listening to this and you're the one who has to use it straight, like you feel like
Oh,
it's not getting clean if you're not using it straight from the bottle and not diluting it, um, keep in mind that shampoo companies, that is what they are designed to do. They work the
hmm,
most effectively at at least the dilution ratio that they're at.
yes. Yes.
There's a reason why they have those.
Well, and to be honest with you, having been on the shampoo side of it, manufacturing side of the shampoo products, if you're using it straight, man, that's hard on your hands because it's
Mhm.
not made to be in contact with your skin at that high of a concentration on a regular basis. Like one time's not going to hurt you, but every single dog, you hear these bathers who their hands are just raw, and it's like there's probably something going on with the dilution of it
Mhm.
because it's just not like you said, it's not made to use at that consistency.
No, and such wasted product at that as well.
Mm. Oh, so
So,
expensive.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean that's the other part. Remember that, that's what shampoo companies are the chemical makeup is meant to be diluted. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind if you're one of those straight shampooers. But so obviously I love my system, and Staci saw a need when she started hearing about frothing.
Yes.
And tell us about your journey on that.
So I, waited when the frothing, I don't even know. Do you remember when the frothing first came into the industry and when it first started and stuff? I really don't. I know it's been a
I don't
minimum of
know.
5 years. It's been at
It's
least
been
5 years or so.
longer. It's been
Yeah.
longer. I can't remember. I know I've San Bernard was the ones who really started the trend,
Yes.
I do believe. And I think that because their shampoos are formulated for that.
Yes, very
And
much
I don't
so.
know if Michelle Knowles, who helped with starting a lot of that or who worked with them in the very beginning, like when I went like 15 years ago, I can't remember if she talked about frothing or anything, but
Yeah. But
I know
anyway,
it's been around a while.
it's been around a while. And so I remember noticing it and kind of waiting, right? Because it's like, is this a gimmick? Is this just, what? And paying attention to it. And so I had been wanting to come up with a new system. And actually, I was talking to Samantha Palia, and we were talking about her salon and what she does and different things like that. And she had learned on my system when she was in grooming school. She learned on it. She knew all about it.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, how come you don't have it anymore? And she's like, well, I've gone to frothing, and told me the different reasons and scenarios. And I would call Ive St. Bernard's or Michelle Knowles or, somebody besides me. I'm not
Mhm.
an expert. Yeah, I'm definitely not. And so I was like, she's like, that's what you should do. You should come up with a high volume. Well, you came up with this catch line, high volume frother, but
Mhm.
something, she's got salons, and she can't be the only salon that does 20, 30 dogs a day and frothing for each individual dog, while Dr. Cliff and they can tell you what the benefits are to that. It's very time consuming, right?
Mhm.
So I worked with it, and it actually took me 2.5 years. It took so long. I thought, you know what, this should be very simple. You go to the
I
bathroom, you
remember
pull the
that.
little trigger on this soap dispenser, it comes out, boom. No big deal.
Mhm.
Should be able to do this, no problem. I've got all the air you need with the compressor. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh my gosh, it was way harder than I thought. I ended up having to hire an engineer, because I'm like, he's like, well, yes, this should be simple. I'm like, I know, right? And
Right?
it even took him longer than he anticipated. And so, engineer came up with it. Then you've got the whole where I have to test it, right? I have to put it in a salon to make sure this is actually going to work. And then anyway, it's a big, long process, and finally have it now. And I'm starting to ship it in the next week or two, which is really exciting because it's ahead of schedule. I'm waiting
Nice.
on I'm waiting on the packaging for it because it is a little bit more, not high tech, but it's a little bit more fine tuned than the
Mhm.
original, than the Cosmos system. So the Cosmic Suds it can be tweaked the wrong way a lot easier. And so I need a packaging that's going to hold it tightly and not allow it
Mhm.
to move and jostle around in shipping, because shipping's not the best
It's
and
not
easiest
simple.
way to
No, 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 not at all.
to get things before. I love that. I've shipped things to customers, and they'll call me and they're like, "Yeah, it was broken." And I'm like, "What?" You package it the same way 100 times, and so it just happens. But so I designed special packaging to hold it a little bit better, to hopefully eliminate breakage in shipping. So we should start shipping that in the next week or two, so that people can hopefully have it for the holidays. And people who signed up at Hershey obviously get the first dibs. Their orders will go out first, and then I will ship accordingly.
I love it. And obviously
Yes.
it's been in salon. I mean, Samantha's had
Yes.
it for however long. So
Yes.
it's new to market, but it's
Yes.
not new. It's
Right. It's
been
new to
tested
production
and
and,
tweaked.
yeah, new to the grooming market. But yes, it has been beta tested at a couple salons, and yes.
And so I'm not a frother. I've always been
Right.
intrigued, but what is the consensus? Like, what's Samantha's success? Like, her flow has to be
Oh my
tremendously
gosh.
easier.
Yes, it's increased substantially, but she is able to. And again, this depends on water product and everything, but she is able to. She has a 3-gallon tank, and I talked to her groomer, her head groomer, and I'm like, "You're getting what out of it?" Because same kind of thing I did at your salon. I'm like, she's like, "I only dilute, like, we use 1 tablespoon a day." I'm like, what? That is nuts. That is
Right?
crazy. And that's like 20 dogs. So when I'm at the show, though, I tell people 2 to 3 tablespoons, because in my testing, when I'm making it, I use 2 to 3 tablespoons. but it depends on your water and it depends on product. I'm
Mhm.
trying a few different products and I'm hoping once I get the parts shipped, I'm hoping to do kind of like a comparison between
Mhm.
different products. Like this one uses this many tablespoons, this one uses in just to educate people. But again, it's going to depend on your water. It's really big on your water on that one. But to be able to do 20 dogs with even 3 tablespoons of product is crazy, and it comes out
Right.
frothy. The one drawback, actually, Samantha's testing this right now. Hopefully, her salon got it today. We tried adding 2 sprayers to
Okay.
one system. We'll see. In my testing, it's iffy. It doesn't
Okay.
always come out as sudsy as it should. But again, just because I test it here in my facility doesn't mean at a salon that it's going to work. So we're going to see.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I never thought about that having the multiple, but and I mean frothing by one of the draws to frothing is that it is such little product that goes a long
Yes.
way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Beyond that, beyond the science of how the actual foam correlates to cleaning, again, I'm not going there. I'm not the expert, but I just know, and it's fun to spray it.
Oh yeah.
You sprayed
Like,
it. It's like,
uh-huh.
ooh, foam, and it's like spraying whipped cream at someone out of a can, it's just
Right.
fun.
It
It's
is.
just
Yes.
fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
No, I love it. And it just it hits a market that no other bathing system does.
Right, right. To my knowledge, I don't want to claim this, but to my knowledge, I don't know of any other system that frosts. Um, if there is, I apologize, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm just basing it off of my knowledge that I've seen.
right,
I haven't seen
exactly,
one.
exactly. But that was my goal, right? To come up with a faster, easier, better way of frothing, just like the original Cosmos system, a faster, better, easier way of bathing, of applying the product of the shampoo onto the pet. Same thing. This is a better way of getting that froth, that foam onto the pets. It's the
Mhm.
same concept. All you do, you get the dog, pull the trigger. Again, you can put it on dry like you can the original system. It's exciting.
That's really cool. And then you also had to figure out, like, I mean, I know you don't know the science behind frothing, but there is most certainly something different than the suds at the bottom of the original system.
Yes,
Correct?
I know,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
I've had so many people who've had this system for like 20, 30 years. Can't you just make it always come out like when the Cosmos, the original Cosmos is running out, it spits and come out foamy. The spitting's annoying. At least I find it extremely annoying,
Yes.
but it's at least a warning. Okay, this is your last dog. You can do this dog and then you're out. But
Hmm.
it's nice because it comes out really foamy and frothy. And yeah, so I
And
was like, well, this should
it
be
makes good
easy.
pictures. It makes good
Yeah.
pictures. You take it from the phone and you stick it on top of the head and you got your social media picture. Throwing that out there.
Yes. Yes, it
Yes.
does. It's so cute. Yes. But so yeah, at my very first thing was like, this should be simple. I should just be able to suck air in while I'm sucking the product in. And for some reason, it here's the other thing. So it's not even just getting the foam, it's making it consistent, being able to do it multiple dogs all day
Mhm.
long. So even though I might be able to get foam initially, the next dog wouldn't have foam. And so it has to be consistent. And that's where the challenge came in to make sure we could get it same foam every time. And it is interesting in this whole learning process for me. One thing that I can do, and you've seen me at shows, I'm testing it out really quick before we
To
open the
make sure.
show. And I'm like, oh, it's not right. It's like if it's spitting again, which is annoying, that to me, and it took me a little bit to figure this out. I thought something was wrong with one of the settings on the
Mm.
compressor. What it actually is there's not enough product to make it foam well. So I have to add a little bit more product, stir it up, and then next thing you know, it's coming out really nicely.
See, and it's all just figuring that out. And each
Yes,
show, you typically are using a different shampoo. You're like
I
a vendor
am.
who donates
Yes.
and, so people can play around with that as well. So that's a little different. And obviously each location has different water.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, because one of the things, like at Hershey, I was next to a shampoo vendor, right? And so
Right.
obviously, and my other point with the original and with the Cosmic Suds, you can use any product in it. So that's part of
Mm-hmm.
the niche of my system is there's no set shampoo. You can use anything in it. And so that's one thing that I like to show. So I used her product in the first one. And then when I was at Mesa, there was a different shampoo vendor there. There was not many shampoo vendors at Mesa. Brand new show. It was a great show. We had a good time. I took his and used his in there. And then
Mm-hmm.
at Fitz, one of the vendors came to me and said, "Hey, I want to see how this does in there." So I tried two different ones in there. So yeah, it's part of the fun, right?
Yep.
Of seeing what works and what works well.
Mm-hmm. So at the pet boarding and daycare, so here's the other part, the really cool part about all this. It's great in a salon, in high volume salons, you can use it. Perfect for mobile because you're only filling the tank up.
Right.
Even in home. So also, if anyone who doesn't know, I have a cat only location and we have a little
Yes.
teeny tiny tank. And
Yes.
because or I mean, we do high volume cats, and I mean, we do 20 to 30 cats a week, but like, and it's one right after another. So like, we're able to use that. So we have a little teeny tiny tank,
Yes.
and so good for low volume as well. And the other part to that is I've been at the boarding and daycare shows as well, and I love that there's that versatility for someone who's not a grooming business owner to actually have something that is good quality and can be consistent. They can know their numbers. And I
Mm-hmm.
know the boarding and daycare realm is a little new for you this past year, correct?
Yes, I just started this year. I went to the one they had out in Vegas, which they changed to Arizona for next year, Pet
I
Boarding and Daycare West.
saw. I
Yes,
love
they
it.
changed it
Yes.
to, I think, Phoenix. But so they changed that. But then, yes, this was also my first time at Pet Boarding and Daycare in Hershey. So yes, that's interesting, and it's just a different clientele. But yes.
Hmm. Now, have you had feedback from, I'm assuming people have rented. Have you gotten feedback from boarding and daycare facilities as well?
Yes. And so the nice thing for the boarding and daycare, especially the ones who don't do grooming, because groomers usually know what they like, know what they want, know how they want to do it. But for the kennels and the daycares that do exit baths or offer just a quick bath, it's really nice because it takes away the um effort to dilute for each dog, to not just train them how to wash a dog. They've also have to learn all these other things that as groomers, and so it's very easy to get a consistent bath even for those exit baths. So it's really saving a lot of time on
Nice.
those. Hmm.
I was always
And for the
curious. We haven't
ones,
talked about it.
yeah, and the ones who are thinking about going into grooming, I'm like, your groomers are still gonna like it as well. And I tell them there's gonna be a learning curve. Your groomer may or may not have used this before,
Hmm.
but it's fantastic for your kennel baths for your first bath. There's people who do. There's your, I don't know if they're old fashioned, but they're the people who always do two baths.
Yes.
That was a thing, especially
Uh-huh.
back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You always did two baths. That was the big
Right.
thing. And so at least for your first bath, the system is very nice for that because it's the same consistency over every dog.
Right. No, I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, do you have anything else that you want to add about the frother or anything?
The frother. Well, I'm taking orders now, like I said, hopefully to start shipping in the next few weeks. And yes, it's as of right now, one system at one tub. We can't, it's unlike the OG system where we can add on sprayers. You would have to, if you've got multiple tubs, you have to have a system at each tub or put it in the middle. This is what Samantha does. She puts it in the middle and the
In
two
the middle, yeah.
tubs share it. Especially when you're frothing, one of the whole things behind frothing is you put the foam on and you let it sit on the dog. So while the dog's sitting, obviously the tub next to them can do it. So you can add in a tank for conditioner, because if you do the Ives St. Bernard's closed, open, closed, you condition, then you shampoo, and then you condition again. So you can add a conditioner tank and sprayer to the existing Cosmic Suds system. I can't get conditioner to froth yet. I know they can do it, like when they make individual conditioners, they can
It's
get it
easy.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, but I can't get conditioner to do it yet. I've got to figure that part out. Right now, I'm just trying to get the product out to people who already have ordered it and want it, and we'll deal with conditioner down the road. So
Well, I was
that's
gonna
where we
say,
are.
and aerating conditioner is going to be way different than aerating shampoo.
Exactly. Yes.
The surfactants, the chemicals, the everything about
Everything.
it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder
Yes.
to aerate something like
Oh,
that. So
yes. Yeah. Because
that's
conditioner is
really
not
cool.
manufactured to froth. You know, it's just not made
Correct.
for that. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
whipping.
So,
When you froth it, you whip it.
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think that that's about it. Did you have any other questions for me or anything?
I don't think so. I'm just excited that I got to see you, not at a trade
I
show.
know. I know, right?
And and that we could share this. And really, like I said, this month was all about flow, and that is it. My shampoo, like my bathing flow, is, I mean, a good 80% of everything. Because if that
Yeah.
gets wonky, then the rest of the day is just screwed up. So
Well, yeah. We all know if you
yeah.
don't start with a good bath, you can't have a good groom.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, no, I'm just excited that you came on and that we were able to do this.
Yes.
And you guys can find Staci. She's Cosmos Bathing System. Or if you guys want to reach out, and I can always get you the information as well. So, thank
We'll
you,
put the
Staci,
links and
for coming
everything on.
on.
No
Yeah, we'll get
problem.
that
Thanks
in
for
there.
having me. I appreciate you having me. So,
No
all right.
problem.
All right.
Bye,
You have a great
everyone.
night. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too.